Welcome to this tutorial on how to create plots in the C++ programming language. Now the first thing we need in order to create plots in C++ is a library, and we're going to use the pbPlots library, which works on all C++ compilers and is easy to use. Now let's just Google pbPlots to find the GitHub page of the library. We'll select the version that we talk about in this demo. Here you can see the documentation for pbPlots. You can create many kinds of plots with pbPlots, so you can read up on the documentation later. We are going to select the C++ version here. Now what you need are these 4 files here, so let's just download them in turn. We are going to create a new folder to hold our new project. Let's call it plots. So let's just go through each of the 4 files and save them to our project folder. And that's the 4th file. Okay, so let's now start coding our plot program. We'll create a new file. Let's call it plots or plot.cpp. We'll start out with the main function. Let's now include the pbPlots header and the support lib header. Now the first thing we need is a data structure to hold the image. With pbPlots, it's called an RGBA bitmap image. So this data structure will hold an image. Let's call it imageref. And we'll use the create RGBA bitmap image reference to create a structure. Now we need our 2 vectors to hold our coordinates. First, let's write out the x coordinates and the corresponding y coordinates. So these are the coordinates that will be plotted on the plot. We are now ready to draw the scatter plots. We'll write out draw scatter plot, pass in our image reference on which the image will be drawn. We'll have a width of 600, a height of 400, and pass in our 2 coordinates, or coordinate arrays. Now that we have the plot, we can convert it to a PNG file and write it to a file. First thing we need to do is to call the convert to PNG function. We'll pass in our image. Next, we need to write that PNG data to a file. We'll pass in our PNG data. Let's call the file plot.png. Finally, we delete the image structure. Let's now try and compile and run our program to see if we can generate the plot. We'll use G++, the GNU C++ compiler. We'll pass in our plot CPP, our pbPlots CPP, and the support lib. And we need to include the math library of C. So here we have it, the executable. Let's try to run it. Where is our PNG file? Let's have another look. Should be there. There it is. There you have it. We have now plotted a plot with C++.